Hi, this is video 3, the restoration of the B25J Mitchell bomber. I've recorded video since it arrived in November 2022. Video 3 covers the period between July and November 2023. Aid is the only part-time volunteer engineer working on this aircraft. Other engineering help comes from the Lancaster project. I asked Aid about the tubes coming out of the nacelles. What were they for?
Inquisitive.
I'm pretty sure they're fuel jettisons. The fuel tanks are sort of in this bit of the wing, and I'm pretty sure that they look like fuel jettison to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure.
Obviously you get a good draw out.
Well, yeah,
decide the weight of the fuel, won't it?
Keeps it out of the way of anything.
Yeah.
Like the engines and things. Yeah. So yeah, I think from memory that's what they are. I don't think that. There they are, look, they go there, over the top and to nowhere. Oh yeah, then they've been cut there, look.
Oh yes.
And they continue forward. So yeah, fuel jettison.
Yeah. They could have easily undone those clips, couldn't they?
You'd have thought, wouldn't you? I mean, they can be quite hard work, those rubber hoses to take off, but it's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, it is.
On this one, we were talking about the broken bracket on the other side.
Yeah.
You can see the same bracket still fitted on this side there, look, up in there.
I see a bracket, yeah.
Let's see if I can do a shadow. Can't get on. Yeah, so it's that bracket there, it's sheared on the other side, so that mechanism with a cam rail through there.
Yeah.
When the flap moves, that moves the fairing door. It's quite complex, yeah. So basically, say the flap comes down and the door goes up, and it controls the airflow. It takes the airflow, the higher pressure air from underneath the wing to the top of the wing.
How does that work?
It's to do with boundary air control. So there's always when you're flying, there's always more pressure under the wing than over it.
Yes.
Because that's how you fly. But by letting the air go through the gap and then onto the top, it hugs the top of the flap, and it stops the air breaking away from the top surface of the flap.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's basically it's quite early, I think, boundary air control. And then similarly, when the flap goes up, that door comes down and it fills the gap between the flap and the wing, so you don't get any drag off that. Yeah, it's a really clever system. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not connected, so we can't see it working, but it's good.
Good, right, thank you.
Now it looked closely at the mosquito.
Yeah.
Something similar thing.
And these are the oil coolers they've taken out.
Oil coolers, yeah. So the oil cooler system, it took air in from the front here.
Yeah, yeah.
So air going in there, through the two oil coolers that are not there.
Yeah.
And then
they go out on top of them.
The top, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Brad was showing me last week about the oil doesn't go, does it split the oil up and it goes either side?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Brad may know, I don't know.
No, he said something about the thermostat on top, controlling it.
Well, I can imagine you'd have a thermostat to not have the oil coolers at first.
It was a bypass.
Yeah, you want to bypass it first, get the oil temperature up.
Yeah.
So whether it bypasses through one and then bypasses one and then bypasses both, I don't know. But I've not got onto the
no.
Brad's doing it.
Good, right, thank you.
Enjoy.
That's something new.
Don't start filming, I'll have to go somewhere else.
Too late.
I borrowed your hammer.
So what are you working? What part are you working on now? Oh, sorry.
You what?
Well, I asked Jacob for a puncher and I couldn't find a hammer.
We're still working on the flap area. Oh.
This is a pulley cover that shouldn't have a hole in it. And this is going to be the new one.
It covers the pulleys for what?
It covers the, they are the trim pulleys and the aileron control lock pulleys.
Because it's a control lock you want to get sorted, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we want the control lock sorted. So, but what's happened at some point in the past, when they've taken, someone's taken the rear fuselage off, they've not removed this panel, and the pulleys and brackets have been dragged through this panel.
Oh, so just tore it up.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. So it's no use to man of these. So I just make them some more.
Are they for both this one side or opposite side?
They're one for each side. So there were, but the other one's missing and one was ripped apart. Yeah. So once I've drilled them, I'll show you where they go.
Come and have a look.
Yeah.
The rear part of the fuselage on the left shows the bracket which should hold the pulleys. This is the section which Aid was talking about when they pull the rear fuselage back, tearing through the door flap.
Thank you. Where you got that from?
Morning, mate.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Are you?
No. Spent all morning trying to get this panel on. Absolutely driving me around a twist.
Is it why? Wouldn't the levels line up?
Nothing lines up. It's all, but it's all new panel.
Yeah.
So it's not massively surprising, but it's all made the panels to the drawing, but it's not having it.
No.
There's a load of pulleys here.
Yeah.
Which are to do with control locks and trim.
Yeah.
And to get the rear half off, because the pulleys go with the rear half, and this goes with the front half. You have to have a panel that comes off to let these pulley brackets come through.
Yeah.
Well, what's happened in the past was they just these panels, I think this one had been ripped off and the other one had a big hole in it, where they just bashed it through when it was taken apart at some point. So we've had to get the drawing and then make new panels and then make this angle as well. So that's all. But
are they anchor nuts?
Yeah,
behind
and they're quite tight anchor nuts as well. I mean, they are.
So you haven't replaced them then?
Some of them are new. Those four are new. These two are original. That one's new, and these are original. Yeah. So there's some of each. But it's just. Well, I'm guessing because that panel was shredded. It's not been used for years.
On aircraft, what sort of thread did you use? Did you use BA thread or?
Not an American, it was unified on American aircraft, so British aircraft would be Imperial, BA and
Whitworth and all that.
And I don't know about Whitworth, but BSF definitely.
Yeah.
And then this is all unified, so these are actually 1032.
Yeah. What about Johnny was working on that former, wasn't he, or frame as they call it?
John's repairing a frame in the rear half of the aircraft, but he's not on that at the moment.
John's working on making parts of the frame which was damaged when the floor panel was not replaced some time in the past.
Yeah, I've watched him do a bit. Has he got it done now?
No, it's still not finished. Well, in a similar vein to that, he's not on that at the moment. He's priority outside thing.
Oh.
So that's stopped for the time being. But that's coming on well. Well, I'll show you. Have you seen the frame recently?
No, I haven't. No.
So armed with this drawing, it has so far produced this frame. So that's almost ready to go in, really.
Yeah.
And that replaces this one that's been split there and there.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened with this one? The floor goes on top of here. The floor had been left out. So someone's trod on this, and you can see the crease line. It's just folded it over, split it there and there. Yeah, so that's.
So is this a frame or a former?
That's a frame.
That's a frame.
It's a frame as far as I'm concerned. To me, frames go that way and intercostals go that way.
Yeah.
So this is, to me, is a frame.
Yeah.
There's nothing intercostal. I think that might be an unfinished intercostal that go there.
Yeah. So which way does that face? Is that a port or a starboard?
This is on the port side.
That's on the port side, yeah.
Yeah.
Are all the formers, facing that way? Or this edge? Do they all fold over towards the back?
I think they do actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the first, yeah.
So that's quite close to being riveted back together, that.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice. Well, what we've got to do very quickly is get the floor in so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Does that be sad? So we're getting there.
Yeah, good. I'll just go and take some video while that light's on in there.
Yeah, it's very, very bright in there.
Yeah. I'll go round the other side. Well,
I'll tell Andy that you're welcome to.
yeah.
I'll shout instructions.
Yeah.
Right, so that frame we were looking at, you can climb up the steps a bit if you want.
It won't tip backwards, will it?
No.
Whoops. Right.
So down there, you can see where the frame has been taken out. The big
I
hole,
can see it, yeah.
the big hole in the floor. So that's that frame we were just looking at. So that goes
on the bulkhead, is it? Or close?
it's just behind the bulkhead.
Yeah.
About a foot behind the bulkhead, there's a frame missing.
Yeah. I've got to see where it goes.
Yes. That's right. So those parts, that's going to be riveted into there, and that's the floor panel that was missing that caused the whole problem in the first place.
What is that? Yeah.
Well, here and then you got a flap quadrant. Andy's here. Working on this. So the flap quadrant. The cable's pulling the quadrant, and that's what turns the flaps up and down. But because somebody couldn't be bothered back in the past to move the flaps to take the bolts up, they've bent the airframe out the way instead.
Oh.
So we're repairing the damage that's been done by that. So we're inserting a skin over the damaged part to basically get the strength back up. And that needs to be done on that side and that side.
The same, both the same.
Yeah, both the same. Same problem on both sides. So that's what's going on. And then your guy, as I say, Terry's doing wiring. Yeah. For example, you can see there where to get the rear end off, they just cut the wiring loom. Can you see the white loom next to it?
I can, yeah.
So literally, it's just been locked off.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
wasn't there any other connection in the loom at all to split it?
I mean, I can sort of see why they've done it, but that's not. I mean, that isn't a big, not a massive issue. That can be repaired. So it's coming along quite nicely here. Right. By the time we've got these two repairs done, there's some more work to do on this cross member here. Because the ends of that have been chopped off as well. Yeah. But you can sort of start to see it. It's looking quite respectable in here.
Yeah, it is.
And then
once we get all the spares we need for the cables, we can get all these cables tensioned up and they'll look better. So, yeah, it's coming along.
These are control cables, are they? To the
Yeah, these are the
rudder.
these are the rudder and elevator control cables here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't remember which is which.
No.
And then these ones are the trim. Okay. Yeah, so it's all there.
Oh, good. Right, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, that's good. I'll put that there for you.
Andy is also a second volunteer to join the B25 team.
Because that was that's been trampled on from the top, so it's all badly damaged.
Yeah.
Here, there's quite a bad dent here. So we've noticed that there's a dent in here. It's quite distinctly
Oh, there is, isn't there?
up there.
Yeah.
It looks like the weight's come onto a trestle or something.
Yeah.
Right at the front, which is it's a very strange place to put a trestle, but it's
Well, yeah, because what is that?
that's electrical. That it's got wires going to it on the inside. Just one wire going to it inside. But
So, what would we be doing on the outside? Plugging something in when it's stationary?
There must be something connected to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what, because I'm not an electrician. So I've taken the Bombardier's floor up, which is that floor there.
Yeah.
And now you can see in there. What this dent has done is there's two stringers down the outside that have been pushed up.
Yeah.
And then just here, inboard of those, there's two frames that have been rippled, and they've been pushed up as well. We've got to come up with a plan now. We've got to come up with a repair scheme to try and get this damage back out, because it looks quite ugly.
Yeah.
It's sort of.
Will you be able to get the damage out without changing the skin?
Well, I'm wondering whether John's not had a look at it yet, but I'm wondering whether the answer is to take the rivets out that hold the skin to the stringers and the frames.
Let it move, yeah.
And see if the skin pops back by itself. If the skin goes back, we might be able to ease new stringers. We're definitely gonna have to make these two frames, because they're at the that section they've crumpled up.
Yeah.
So there's no way you can they're not going to go back ever. So that's actually, although it doesn't look much, it's actually quite a significant repair.
Yeah.
So that's another one we can be getting on with. Yeah. We can make. I mean, if you just like this to look at, I suppose you could just bodge some filler into that.
Yeah, well, you could do, couldn't you? Just tap it out.
The way to do it with an aeroplane, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll do it properly. So anyway, that's
It's another job. This
afternoon's entertainment.
Yeah. Are you working on that now?
Well, I've just taken the floor up, and and then John really and myself need to discuss how we're going to go about what we're going to do to put it back.
Yeah.
And then so do some bits on this, and I'll do some turret bit sorting every so often. Yeah, it's good switching backwards and forwards.
Yeah, good. Right, thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what you just did. I wouldn't want to get that up.
Les and Terry, a new volunteer who will cover the electronic systems.
Is that stainless steel flexible tubing? Pardon? Is that stainless steel flexible tubing?
It feels like it. It almost begin with. We've never had a seat like that before. Willie got it. That's in your box again. And put it back in your box. Yeah. Eh? What? No trouble.
What does that tube actually go into?
It's all the electrical cables
Oh, it's the cable there.
from the circuit breaker things in there.
Yeah.
We've just got to try and guess in here where they're going to go.
Are you an electronics man then?
Ish, yeah, I do it a lot, yeah. Yeah. So this is only, I've got a pipe in to the moment. So, got to start somewhere. Might get some electrics on it soon.
Yeah. Expensive stuff that. Stainless steel tubing.
Judging by the blood on my hand, the wiring was expensive too.
What have you been wiring then?
We've taken, there's some heavy duty wire
Yeah.
that goes to the engine power side. And we fed it from the fuselage
Yeah.
right the way through up here. Okay. You can see that start at that fluffy sort of colour wire at the
Yeah.
right? And you fed it all the way across there. And on there, so that conduit in the creek.
Yep.
And then it comes down through that over there. And we've done the same on the other side.
Is the power unit for the electric this side or is it on both engines?
For the generator,
Yeah.
I don't know, are there two generators on there? Yeah.
Like any job, you always get some bits left over.
In the front of the aircraft then you had that fixed armour plate there, represented by that piece of plywood. And above that you had a curved piece of armour plate, all 3/8 thick, so quite thick armour,
Yeah.
that could fold down so you could still access the back of the instruments. And then down in that cutout was another sheet of armour plate that could be folded out the way so the Bombardier could get from the front to the back.
So this one had it in front as well as the back as the...
Well, the great thing about this armour plate is it had armour that was protected the pilot and the co-pilot from the front. But the unfortunate thing for the Bombardier is that he was the wrong side of it, wasn't he?
You know, bounced back up in this way.
Yeah, anything that hit that, you know,
Yeah.
say
The force won't
German-
stop it. It's got
say,
a...
a German mining shot, you know, one of the subsonic sort of exploding rounds.
Oh,
Yeah, the shrapnel off that would come flying forwards again. So
Yeah.
terrible place. So we don't have the armour, and so what I'm doing is I'm producing plywood, replica plywood armour. So when you look into the front of the aircraft, it looks more representative.
yeah.
Because then we can, once that's done,
You'll make it out of plywood.
Yeah.
You won't put any metal on it.
I don't think there's a plan to make it out. We could make it out of aluminium alloy, but it'd be quite a lot of expense, and it still wouldn't be right.
No. You paint that on the plate in colour and you would know.
Yeah, exactly. There generally seems to be green. I've had a look at that internal green. They were painted with that.
Yeah.
Saying it's all right having wooden armour because we found these wooden 50 cal bullets under the floor. Actually, under the floor in the Bombardier's position. So they've obviously fallen out from its filming day.
Yeah, I thought it was used for filming, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's used Catch 22 and Hanover Street.
Yeah.
So that's planned, and then going on from there, all down the port side of that Bombardier's position was covered in switch boxes and equipment. So the square at the back had the heated flying clothing rheostat, so you could turn up and down, change the temperature on the flying clothing.
Yeah.
And then in front of that, it had the bomb selecting stuff and like salvo or whatever.
Yeah.
The bomb things, and that. So all of that equipment would have been on that left-hand side. We haven't got that, but it's probably the kind of thing you can find.
Yeah.
On online markets.
Yeah.
And then there should be or on certain aircraft there would have been a bomb sight fitted in here. So that,
Yeah.
And in America, on the master bomber aircraft, there's probably a northern bomb sight. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And then
Who's working inside the fuselage?
inside, we got Terry working inside. He's doing an electrical survey, so we're trying to start on fathoming out the electrical systems.
Yeah.
He understands the electrical systems. That's
Yeah.
quite good.
Oh.
And work further back, we've got Andy's doing some airframe repairs around the flap quadrant where there's been some damage done by malpractice. So take one thing from this: wooden armour, wooden guns, wooden bullets.
Yeah.
Wouldn't work. Found those in the front. Yeah, wooden armour. Yeah, there you go. Wouldn't work. It wouldn't go.
It was about this time that Terry and Andy joined the B25 team.
Yeah, alright.
Are you a regular then, you lads, now?
Yeah, third day for me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might need some holes in it, but yeah. I was at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, thanks very much.
Hey, good to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.